Race fans, you know what time it is. It is time for an auto soccer tournament of destruction. And not only that, but I think I have a special guest here. Jeffrey Best from the Great White North, coming down from Alaska and playing a little soccer with us.
Well, that, Tommy, you know, I figured I had to make it back down for the auto soccer, the first one of the year. And wait a minute, did you see those cars?
They look really familiar to Low Budget TV's colors.
I noticed that. In fact, it also has two cars with our favorite numbers on this. What's going on?
I think you and I are going to be driving this auto soccer.
So we're in it and we're announcing it?
Shayla Zinn's my girlfriend. She's going to be in the number 2 car. I'm 96, Jeffrey Best 00. And we're playing against the fierce rivals, Jan's Towing. They've played every game in auto soccer. This is our first time.
Yeah, and they're going for their 4th win in this one. We're going for our first green flag out for the auto soccer.
Jan's first one to get to the ball, but it looks like Tommy Mason. Okay, it looks like I'm trying to get to the ball, and it turns into a little showdown.
Yeah, you know, there are a couple cases like this where we're going to have a lot of breaking up, or I should say a lot of cars clumping together, you see here. And this is, as you talked about it, we've seen a lot of beat 'em up games, but this one was more of a strategic game.
Yeah, no, that's something that, you know, we tried to preserve our cars.
For the first half, as you can see.
Yeah.
Here goes the rear end of my car.
Absolutely. Well, the thing about it is because most of these cars are going to be used another day.
Back into Shayla.
So we had to play a little safe, not crash them too hard. But
yeah, as you say that.
Exactly. But it is by all means still an auto soccer game.
Here you go. You get a nice breakaway.
I thought I was going to get something until the Acura parked in front of me, so I just tried to push it out of the way.
And let's talk about the other team's cars. We know where, you know, we've seen Flipper drive the car I'm in right here in the 00. Your car's a trailer car. Shayla's been in a bunch of trailer races.
Yep.
And we've seen that 55 car a lot, but those other two cars, what are they?
Those are little compact cars. The red one right there getting pushed around by us. I believe that's a Chevy Vega, and then the Acura. I do know that's an Acura, the silver car.
And now, like, you know, folks, now that we've done this, we can actually tell you it's not as easy as it looks.
No, I mean, that ball moves around a bunch, especially when it goes over your hood.
Yes. My car, for some reason, loved pushing. It had like a scoop on it. And me against that red car, we would often get the ball up in the air.
My strategy was to play defense the whole game, and you can see right here, I'm not going for the ball, I'm turning into the guy.
And things get really interesting right here, by the way. You know, taking a look at this ball, Tommy, and then here comes the 55 of Jan's Towing. You two get it up in the air, it wasn't even rolling. And Tommy, there's something over there.
Oh, there's tow truck. That's when I hit the brakes and said, you know what?
The tow truck driver's running for the truck.
It's getting close. Oh, clean. Now, Mike did say that the court was going to be the whole track, so I was getting prepared for that, going to go run into the grass, even though that wasn't allowed. But hey, rules meant to be broken. So Mike having to go rescue the ball, so we get a little break right here to go play around, go back into position.
Yeah, my car, the gearing in it was really high, so I really couldn't get the tire spinning. I tried my best right here, but it wasn't working.
No, your front tires were doing the burnouts.
Yeah, they were turned and nothing was happening. So there's Jan's Towing, as you see, and obviously there's my giant burnout.
Now, Jeffrey, we knew going into this how tough this game was going to be. Jan's, like we said, played every game up to date, and this is our first one. I've done a little bit of an auto soccer with Pick Your Part. I broke my car, so that wasn't that long. All I did is push the ball a little bit, and then I was out. Well, the ball's coming back on the play, Jeffrey, and I believe the first one to get to it is Shayla.
Yeah, you know, the ball's coming over. I noticed she was going for it, so I was going to try and back her up here, and I noticed she stopped with it. So
and you see me, like I said, my strategy was to play defense.
Yeah, and I like this, but it's funny because Shayla got in front of me, and here I'm like, okay, let's go, but she didn't go.
And then look at Jan's. Oh, they're going to sneak of the breakaway. Going, and
goal! Even though it's for the other team.
Oh, it was still good job for Jan's.
I saw that breakaway, I looked in my mirror and said, dang.
Right place at the right time. Good job for that Acura.
That car sounded like a Mercedes-Benz.
Well, it's a high-class Acura. A good line of Toyota or Honda.
So here's the cop car that got a little beat up itself.
Mike Atkinson being referee, and a good one at that.
So right here, after a goal, it becomes the other opponent's possession. So what was your plan here at this point?
My plan was just to run the ball. I didn't intimidate them. Just go. Hey, if they want to stick their car in front of this high fast speed moving ball, it's their car to lose.
I was going back and forth. It actually bounced off my front end right there and hit him. And then here, you know, it's hard because Tommy got behind me, so I'm like in reverse. I'm like, oh. Shayla getting stuck there because the guy pinned it against the two cars, and then here comes Tommy again.
Right. I'm just trying to get the ball going. I didn't care who's in the way. I'm just bulldozing.
So this little car was one of the tough ones because it was this one obviously had a better turning radius than we did.
All the little cars do.
For now.
Yeah.
As you'll see. So there we go. Tommy obviously saw him. You saw him score.
I'm keeping everyone. I'm trying to keep everyone but my teammates away from the ball.
Now I'm in defense mode, you know, see this. So I'm over here, and then again, just, okay, foot to the floor.
Back it up and get a run.
It was kind of good, though, because I had a lot of torque, not so much the speed as far as spinning the wheels. But my car, when it got going, it would be a tough one to be pushed. As Shayla saw afterwards, we were doing a little burnout action.
That's right. And so I had a little bit of ball play right there, but this guy in this Acura, you can tell he's been playing for a while. Because he knew where to be.
Yeah.
You know, that's the thing.
That's how he got that goal.
That's the thing in the auto soccer that we've learned. It's not just about ball control. It's where to be, because that ball is constantly moving.
Yeah, I like this move of yours.
This is where my tire blows, so I'm just along for the ride. Right there.
And what happens to you once the tire blows? We'll see Tommy go nuts.
Yeah. Right here, I'm just like, oh, I know the tire's gone. Let's ride it out.
So then I get possession of the ball, but at this point you're almost done.
I'm done. My wheel is spinning inside the tire. My right rear tire, the only drive axle, and that car.
Look at that bunch up we have. And yeah, I mean, there you are. So you're not really being able to move, but you're
no, I would love to move, but I'm just not able to.
Yeah. So here I am. I'm kind of sitting there to the left, just waiting to see what goes on. You know, just don't want them to get it near the goal at all. Shayla's kind of maneuvering. You're moving a little bit, but at this point, as we've talked about, you're immobile. And so it gets over to Shayla. I'm still kind of waiting to figure out, okay, what's going to happen. The last thing I want is for them to get another run.
Watching and waiting, yeah, like you said.
And then I get impatient.
And it's just go time. And you picked that ball up, and it cleared.
And you see the strategy here. I mean, they do. It's not necessarily beating up the cars, but they do go for the cars.
Oh no, absolutely. Well, the cars are in the way.
And I was proud of this. I'm dribbling at this point. Look at this. All right, now I'm gonna get by the red car. Okay, and now I have to get by this car here. All right, got by him. Kind of. But it's hard because then when the ball gets on the wrong side of your car, you have to wait for it to get in front of you and then rearrange it. And as you see,
that's when they catch up.
So low budget team that we have, the low budget TV team, we're 2 against 3 at this point.
That's right. And
you're having fun at the goal.
And Jan's, yeah, well, I was happy about that because that was a goal he's just stuck in his place.
Yeah.
My cleats were stuck into the grass. But yeah, Mike come over with a cop car, moved me. Jan's, one thing for them is not only knowing where to be, but knowing how to play that defense very well, because they, you know,
they've been up against Figure Park quite a bit. So.
Absolutely, and that's, you know, tough act to follow too.
So here we go. I remember planning this one out. I saw the balls coming, so I just stopped it with the rear bumper. Shayla was in the middle of that, but I was doing everything I could at this point to not let that ball get close to that goal. And then I'm like, oh, I got it. Okay. But you know, as we say, these cars are so big that it's hard to just be like, okay, here, you take it.
Yeah.
Again, here we are. He gets around. And then, Tommy, one of our favorite parts, the noise when the ball hits the wall. Dink.
That's right there.
So,
but the ball is still in play. Jans is courteous enough to go back.
I've seen Flipper do this move in the past. I said all I got to do is line this ball up, and I got it right here, Tommy. Foot to the floor, on the gas, and I'm like, if they're going to get in front of it, then they're going to get in front of it. Boom!
Knocked over the upper control arm on that car.
Good attack.
That's right, knocked over the upper control arm, and he had no left front steer.
Look at the left front of that thing. I was proud when I saw that. I'm like, I did that. But yep, so here we are. Shayla right now is still in the midst of things. She was a really good, like, she was there for the ball. I mean,
yeah,
you would almost call her the defense.
And, you know, you see right here, she's purposely not trying to stay there. She was having transmission issues.
Yes, she was. You can see it right here where it just picks up and then it gets into gear. But where do you go? See, she kind of was a little bit more timid, I noticed, like with this stuff, where I was like, I would right here, as you'll see, I'm like, I'm going.
It looked like Shayla, in a sense, was taking the strategic approach and waiting to see where the ball was going.
The hard part too is when the ball stops and you have that, they're not going to move, and they're going to be like, you go for it.
Yeah.
You know, so it's one of those things where you want them to move, they want you to move.
Jeffrey, we're close to the goal.
We're so close.
But there's a good goalie sitting there, the broken
and you
car.
see my turning radius on the car. I'm doing everything I can.
Yeah, no, that is full lock.
So, and then Shayla and I hit. I'm like, let's go. My front end gets kind of mashed up. We'll see a little bit later.
That's right.
But it was nice up till that point. That car, I really did enjoy driving that car.
Oh, it's an old police car, or I believe it's a security car. So
I love it. So you see, once again, we get locked up. This was the deal here.
The gentleman's agreement.
Yeah.
You know.
Which it kind of got blown off there when we're like, oh, well, the ball's out of it.
Yeah.
So here, Tommy, I was starting to really get into the mode of reverse. Usually, it's natural. You want to look behind you when you're in reverse. But I knew there was no other cars behind me, and even if there were, that's their problem. So at one point in this, you'll see it a little bit later. I love Shayla's move right there.
Doing a little payback there.
Yeah, she got hit, so she's like, here, take that. But yeah, so right here, you know, I see the ball's gone. I'm going to get in front of it. But I do start working that reverse quite a bit, a little bit later on. I'm not exactly sure when the game ends, but I know it ends before.
You'll see the lights come on when the game ends.
Yeah, so here we are again in a fight. And
I think Shayla just walked into the room of doom.
Shayla has some input for us here. You see me there, I am going in reverse. Shayla's just pushing through. Shayla, what were you thinking?
She doesn't want it.
She's laughing evilly back there.
Yeah, she's like, if you get me on this TV, I'm going to kill you guys.
Yes, well, we got her already, as you can see. So this 55 guy and I had so many run-ins, I said, hello!
You just flat spun him out.
That's where my front end, I actually busted the radiator right there. Not bad, but bad enough. So, you know, we're still going at it. That car, though, that scored the first goal, he was the guy to watch out in this.
He was the one that you could tell has been in everyone.
He was like the offender, where this car I'm up against right now was like the defense of their team.
Well, I mean, Ken, like me, we both had the biggest cars of each team, so why not? You got the big car, you got the less to lose.
Right.
Just use it.
He had one hell of a bumper on that front end, too. Where you could see my front bumper wasn't really there. You can tell because it's laying on the ground. So, yep. When does this game commence? It's right around here. I know that.
It is.
By the way, reverse, as I was talking about. But yeah, right now in the auto soccer game, that's when the cars are starting to struggle. You see yours over there in the back, but it struggled a little bit earlier than needed.
Rules.
There's Shayla.
That was actually her from the car.
Yeah.
She didn't even come over here right now. So, but this was, as you talked about it, you were watching a lot of it, unfortunately, and you mentioned how...
Trust me, Jeffrey, I had a lot of fun. See, there's the game. It's over. But
I'm not done to...
We're in overtime.
I'm like, hello, and drive straight into the tires.
Jeffrey, you scored a goal for Jans with your car.
I did my best to make my car the goal. It didn't work out. But yeah, so Tommy, I got to do this again.
Oh, hopefully, you know, we get another chance. I don't know who the next pair of teams are going to be. You know it's going to be Jans. That's a given. But we'll see. We'll work it out.
So props to them. Obviously, it was our first time, but they still... We gave them a run.
Oh, hey, we tried. It wasn't by any means a given that, you know, that they just spanked us. We gave them their challenges. We put them up against the wall.
And someone that helped us out with all these cars, Keith Johns, he said to me, he's like, hey, and I even cut him off. He's like, hey, if you at all, I think he said, like, if you get nervous or scared out there or whatever, and I said, I don't think that's going to happen.
Yeah.
And I was really proud when I got out there and I just started ranting things.
Well, Keith, he's been playing a bunch of soccer with Robert Rice and Team Pickerpart, so he...
You like that burnout?
I do. Look at that. Nose to nose.
Full throttle too right now, and I was actually
Nothing.
her backwards.
Nothing.
Yeah, so.
But no, Keith Johns, Robert Rice, they gave us a bunch of tips that really helped us not look like complete rookies. So big props to them.
We watched quite a bit of this, so I think we picked up some tips there.
Absolutely. Well, Jeffrey.
I'm waving at the camera right now.
There you are. Matt up here filming. We got to thank Matt for filling in for us.
Absolutely. So Matt, our Lobach TV assistant, did a great job. Shayla's going to take out the safety truck.
It'd be fun if we can have this be a tournament. Have a couple of teams throughout the year and go to the finals at Night of Destruction.
Speaking of Night of Destruction, when is that? Tell the people.
That is October 29th. To make plans to see not only this, but a whole lot more trail racing, everything else. So, fans, thank you for watching, and we'll see you at the track next time.